Hi, Dr. Mancini here, and I want to give you a quick prep before we dive into the holidays. I know some of you are already eating like you've never eaten before, but tomorrow's Thanksgiving, or if you're watching it today, it's Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you, one of the most important things you can do to increase your pleasure of your food, not limit, because a lot of times when we talk about mindfulness and eating, we immediately have this mindset of, I'm going to feel limited, let me shut this off. Actually, it's just the opposite. We can increase our joy of the food we eat simply by doing several little things. The first thing is just take a moment before you dive into the food and plow down. Just stop for a moment and practice a principle called gratitude. Now, I know this might sound a little unusual for some people. Other people are like, yeah, that's exactly what I do. This is a practice I do every day. But let me give you some physiology behind it. When you stop for a moment and you start to think about what you're grateful for, the food you're about to eat, or the person that's serving the food, what happens is the nervous system starts to shift from what we call a sympathetic response, which is often where we live most of the time, that fight or flight response at a higher or lower degree, and it starts to shift it into a parasympathetic state, which is rest, digest, recover, all the recovery components of the body, including digestion. So what you're doing, you're literally shifting your gears into a more digestive process simply by getting present and being grateful. So there's a lot of value behind being grateful before you eat, because it shifts the nervous system to prepare you to eat. Now, the second thing you want to do is when you look at the food, take a moment to look at it and appreciate it and notice all the colors. Now, again, this is not going to take 3 hours. It's going to take literally maybe 1 minute. 1 minute. You can do it for 1 minute, I promise. If I can do it, you can do it. So 1 minute, you're looking at all the colors, and what you'll notice is as you look at the colors in the food and you start to smell the food, you'll start to salivate. You'll start to really crave it. Now, if you hold and you just let your body experience it without diving into it, you will start to increase your sensory experience. You'll start to increase your ability to smell it, and you'll actually taste it before you eat it. Have you ever gone to a restaurant where you make the order and they're a little slow in getting the food out? Well, besides being irritated and annoyed, you're also noticing something else. And that one other thing is you're starting to get really hungry. It's like if you don't get that food soon, you're running out of the place. You're going to grab the waiter and be kind to him and say, "Where's my food?" So anyway, what I'm saying is if you slow down, you stop, you hold, you pause, you're going to increase the intensity of what you're eating. Now, when you eat the food, you also want to slow down by eating one bite at a time. And when you eat it, you want to notice how it feels in your mouth. You want to taste the different textures. You want to notice the different flavors. Is it sweet? Is it salty? Is it spicy? And as it goes down the throat, notice the whole experience. In other words, when you go through this process that I'm sharing with you, which again, it sounds like it's going to take like 4 hours. It doesn't. Literally, it just slows it down. It half times it. So if you're eating a bite in, say, 15 seconds, you're doubling it to 30 seconds or 45 seconds or 50 seconds. And when you do that, you increase the sensory experience. Now, a really good clue to know you're doing the right thing is that people around you tell you that you're eating way too slow, or you eat slow, or you got to, come on, hurry up, we got to put more food on your dish. Well, there's two keys behind this. Number one, it tells you you're doing the right thing. And number two, when you slow down and you have food on your dish, the people around you who express their love through food, as my family does, they won't keep piling up the dish. They'll notice that you still have food in your dish. So you can't really have any other food on the dish. So it really achieves both outcomes. Number one, you experience and enjoy the food. Number two, you don't get more food on that dish by those people that love to feed you, as my family does. So with that in mind, just think about this process. Slow down, enjoy it, downshift the nervous system, allow the nervous system to shift into that parasympathetic state. Notice the smell, notice the taste, the texture, and I will tell you, you have a much more pleasurable experience with eating, and you'll not eat nearly as much as you normally do. Test it out yourself. Share your success.